Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome back to another episode of CSGO News. I hope you guys all enjoyed today's episode, and thank you all for the great response on my first non-CSGO News video yesterday. That was, of course, the CSGO Pro Player Quiz. How many pro players can you name in 10 minutes time? I'll link the quiz down below in case you guys do want to take it. A lot of you in the comments apparently did very well in that quiz, so congratulations. Also in the comments, though, was this guy who was apparently very upset that I couldn't remember who Exist was on NIP. I named their 4 members, and I forgot Exist, and so he was apparently upset by that. Anyway, let's hop into our first story. In breaking news, we have many hints out there. Apparently TaZ is going to be playing away from Virtus Pro. Of course, he was benched last week and actually replaced by Kingwin member Mihu for a 1-month trial. We're not sure what the future of Virtus Pro's lineup will be. Will they kick more players? Will they bring in new players? Will TaZ play from away from the team, which he has hinted at in an HLTV interview? He said he will be playing CSGO again, and it might not be with Virtus Pro. He said he'll come back sometime soon after a short break, and he's also been following many people on Twitter, which I'm sure many of you are aware about. I'll show you guys on screen as well. He's followed many people, though, so of course the main thing out there, he did follow Team AGO, of course, another Polish team on the rise. He also followed Pride Gaming, another Polish team, also on the rise. And he went ahead and also followed some AGO members as well as their CEO and founder. So that was a pretty big hint, really following those players out of nowhere. It does seem like possibly AGO and Pride Gaming would be his top 2 options. If, of course, he was going to stay inside Polish CSGO, that's where you would want to go. But on top of that, you guys also saw he was following a lot of people. Now with his free time, of course, him being on the bench, we're not really sure if he's on the bench, if he's still under contract. We assume he is for the time being, but he's also followed SK Gaming, Kingwin, FaZe Clan. So really he's following a bunch of people right now, enjoying his time on Twitter. Are these hints at the future where TaZ will go? If he is to go anywhere, guys, I would say Team AGO or Team Pride. I said when it was first announced, Pride Gaming was certainly an option. And also don't forget Team AGO, they also just signed all of their players until 2020. So it'd be a pretty expensive thing to sign your players until 2020 just to bench one of them, although bringing in TaZ might be worth it. We'll see what happens, guys. That was in TaZ rumors. Could he go somewhere soon? We'll see. And speaking of TaZ and all the other roster changes out there, of course, we do have IEM Katowice starting next weekend. Going to be a great tournament down there in Australia, and that'll be back-to-back years. I feel like Australians always get screwed over for CSGO tournaments in terms of time zones, so it's great to see IEM Sydney back-to-back years now, and it should be a great tournament, some great teams. And yes, we do have ESL suspending one of their rules, which they did put in place a couple weeks ago. If you guys remember what that rule actually was, it was actually suspending teams. They could not use their new players if those new players had actually qualified for IEM Katowice or other ESL events with a different team. So that meant teams like Virtus Pro who are using Mihu, they could not actually use those players, but now that rule has actually been suspended until after IEM Katowice, and that's an awesome news. We get to see all the full new rosters actually at IEM Katowice, and that does mean, of course, we will have also Mihu for Virtus Pro, and on top of that, Nafly for Team Liquid will all get to play with those brand new rosters, and I'll talk about Liquid later on, guys. They are looking like a powerhouse team for 2018. We'll see if they continue that powerhouse move after CS Summit, which I'll talk about next. Also, though, I want to talk about DaZed, his response to the alleged hate out there. He did post this tweet on screen, guys. Of course, due to obvious reasons, apparently he's taking down that gambling video. Now, what those obvious reasons were, I'm not sure if it was the massive amount of backlash, the dislikes that he eventually took off the ratings for the video, or was it maybe the obvious reason that video might have been rigged? We're not really sure, but you know what? Good for him. He also tweeted out right after that, he's not going to stop gambling, though, because apparently gambling videos are what grows channels nowadays, which is just sad to see. For me personally, you guys know that's not true. All my gambling videos here, although they are cringy and they're not really well produced, they do very bad, they do very poorly, and they certainly do not help me grow. If anything, you guys usually leave the channel if I actually gamble, which is why I don't do it very often at all. But he will not be stopping gambling, guys. Hopefully stop the alleged rigging. Again, I never said he actually rigged it. When I first watched it, I didn't think he did, but a lot of you guys obviously did think he did. That was his response. Good for him. He will actually keep on gambling in the future. I hope he does it the right way, and there's always a right way to gamble. Just do it honestly. And also this past weekend, you guys saw CS Summit 2. I can't really enough elaborate the fact that I love CS Summit so much. We actually had CS Summit last year this time. Now we had CS Summit 2. And also in great announcements, guys, CS Summit 3 has also been announced. It's a great laid-back environment. If you guys did not get the chance to watch it, I know there's quite a few viewers on the grand final day, but throughout the weekend, many people don't really watch it. It's a lesser viewed event, usually probably around averaging 60,000 viewers, but it's just a great way to see analysts in their laid-back environment, always cracking jokes. You guys can see the gameplay on screen. They did a little Baywatch video, which was absolutely hilarious. I'll link it down below for all of you. And we had an amazing best-of-5 final between the 2 North American teams who are rocking the world right now, and that will be, of course, Cloud9, your former major winners a couple weeks ago. They actually made the grand finals here against Team Liquid, the new and upcoming team who did surprise everyone here. We also had, of course, Cloud9 sweeping a lot of teams this tournament. I believe it was Heroic alongside Liquid and SK throughout the actual winners bracket. bracket, and in this tournament it was actually a really good layout as well, as they did sweep all three of those teams alongside SK Gaming, which is an amazing feat in itself. And in this tournament format, which I really do kind of like, because it was a best of 5 final, if you won the winners bracket in the best of 5 final, you default won the first map. So what do you guys think about that? Is that a really good option for future best of 5 tournaments? Of course, that's a huge advantage, but I know Call of Duty, if you win the winners bracket, you get an entire series advantage. So the losers bracket final team has to beat you in 2 best of 3 or 2 best of 5 series to make up for you winning the winners bracket. So that's a huge thing. I love the map default victory here by Cloud9, although it wasn't enough for them, as Liquid did come back, guys. Liquid, through the losers bracket, after being swept by Cloud9, they beat Torqued, they beat Heroic, and they also swept SK Gaming 2-0. That was SK Gaming losing four maps in a row to 2 North American teams, a thing we've never really seen. I'm not sure we've seen that ever since early 2017, a long time ago, if we've ever even seen that, guys. SK Gaming getting rocked, Liquid coming back as well, using that momentum in the final. We had a great best of 5 final, if you guys get the chance to watch this as well, with Cloud9's default map 1 victory that still was not enough. Liquid won the series, guys, in that 5th map. Yeah, 3-2 final. It was amazing to see, and an overall great event. And it's also amazing to see as well, Liquid with, of course, that brand new roster in NAFLI, and of course with Steel as well. They haven't had that much chance to play with Steel in the past month and a half, because they've been, of course, using their coach for the major practices. So it's crazy to see. We have 2 North American teams on the rise right now, and at first we thought Cloud9 was by far and away the #1 team in North America. Now we definitely have Liquid competing. What do you guys think about all these American teams coming up out of nowhere? Will they be able to stick it out in future tournaments? We're gonna see it. I am Katowice, who's really on top. And very last, today's episode of CSGO News, and again, thank you all for watching. Please leave a comment down below what your favorite story was, what was wrong about the episode, what was right about the episode. Let's talk about this post brought to us by Sir Scoots on Twitter. People were kind of confused by this because he just tweeted this out yesterday or last night, for those of you who are watching early this morning. And I do want to clarify, this post called Unnecessary Risk by Valve was actually a response 3 years ago. It was a response in February of 2015. People kind of thinking, oh, Valve responded on the blog, on the Counter-Strike blog. They responded because people like DaZed or maybe MoTV or someone else out there are kind of aligning themselves with big high-level gamblers or big match bettors, and this is the response to it. Although this post makes a lot of great points, I'll link it down below for those of you guys who want to read it. This is like one of the few times in the past 3 years we've actually seen Valve respond to real-life allegations, to real-life things happening in the community out there. They have not responded, of course, ever since. We had the iBuyPower instance ever since then. We've had tons of teams come out with gambling sponsors, with match betting sponsors, and Valve has not said anything ever since this post. So although I do agree it's a great post, I wanted to clarify for all of you, this post is 3 years old. It is not having to do with anything relevant right now. It's not about DaZed. It's not about teams who are all of a sudden, if you guys noticed in these past few tournaments, a lot of tournaments have been sponsored by match betting sites, as well as Team North actually has a match betting sponsor that's their main sponsor in their team tagline. So I think it's like gg.bet or bet.gg is their actual main sponsor, which I'm fine with. It's match betting, you know, bet responsibly. It's not gambling, but albeit, guys, Valve has not responded in a long time, and this kind of emphasizes that, the fact that this article is 3 years old. Valve, just give me something. As always, guys, hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all for watching this episode of CSGO News. If you guys did, please leave a like down below. More importantly, a comment. I got some time to reply today. I can't reply to every comment, but of course, I love reading them in my free time. So, hope you guys all enjoy. My name is Jake Murray, like you. I will see y'all next time. Goodbye.